Doesn't matter whether you're fleeing the scene of a murder or a DUI. That's all evidence that can be used against you.
I know we talk about housewives a lot on the show, but we got some big housewives news this week. So Real Housewives of Orange County star Shannon Beador was arrested for a hit and run and driving under the influence after a harrowing incident in Newport Beach. So she was booked for the 2 misdemeanors after driving erratically through the California beach town on September 16th. She allegedly drove her car onto a residential property and clipped the house. And then she reportedly parked the vehicle in the middle of the street before getting out with her dog in a supposed attempt to make it appear that she had been walking her pet when police arrived. Newport Beach police confirmed to TMZ that Shannon was cited and released without bond. Her car was seized as part of the investigation into the damage of the Newport Beach house. So not only is this a DUI, but also a hit and run. How much trouble is Shannon going to be in?
Well, Shannon's really lucky that no one was hurt because in California, when you're dealing with a DUI, there's a big difference between DUIs causing property damage only. They're misdemeanors. But if there's any bodily injury, then it's elevated to a felony. So she's lucky that the only thing that was damaged was that Newport Beach home.
So what will she be charged with? She'll be charged with a DUI, charged with a hit and run. Could she potentially be facing jail time? Is she going to have to go into rehab? What are kind of the next steps for her?
Well, I'm actually from Orange County. My parents live in Newport Beach. So the Orange County District Attorney's Office, they take these cases very seriously. That being said, if you're dealing with a first-time DUI and you enter into a plea, usually you're not going to get any jail time. What will happen is you're going to have to do some classes, some Alcoholics Anonymous, maybe some Mothers Against Drunk Driving classes. You may even have to have an interlock ignition device installed on your car, which means you have to blow into it for your car to start. Of course, there's going to be hefty fines and penalties, and you're going to be put on probation. But it's really those second and third DUIs that result in significant jail time.
Right. There's been reports that she's voluntarily, getting some help already. Will that lessen the severity of maybe what what she will be handed by police? Would that ever lessen what she could, what you were saying before, what could happen to her?
Yeah, that's a good strategy in terms of mitigation. Judges look for people that are voluntarily getting treatment, getting into rehab if they have an alcohol or substance abuse problem. So that's something that good defense lawyers present to the judge and say, look, Your Honor, my client is taking this seriously. She's already getting the help that she needs. So maybe she's getting some good legal advice there because this is going to be a difficult case to defend. That walk in the dog defense is not going to fly.
Right. And, speaking of the dog, I saw a lot of people on social media, asking about, what happens to the dog once, when they're involved in something like this. Could she be booked for something like that? Putting your pet in harm's way as well.
Actually, interestingly, Christina, years ago, there was a member of the California State Legislature that actually put a piece of legislation, proposed it, saying that if you actually put your dog at risk, there should be increased penalties for a DUI. Now, that law never passed in California, so it was just a proposal. It didn't go into effect. So really, right now in California, unless you leave your dog in the car without air conditioning, with the windows up, or you do something to subject them to danger, you're not going to be charged, or there's no real enhancement in this case, even though Shannon did really put her dog at risk.
If she fights any of this, if by chance she wants to fight any of this, could the court or anybody look back at this past season of The Real Housewives of Orange County, and because her drinking has been a hot topic of conversation, could that ever be put into consideration as well?
No question. If it's something that, she discussed or she did, she was drinking, she was potentially getting behind the wheel. Now, being a crazy person on a reality TV show isn't a crime. Even being an alcoholic isn't a crime. You really need that nexus to driving or some other unsafe conduct. So there's something in the show that talks about her potentially getting behind the wheel. That's absolutely something that could be used against her. And of course, in every state in this country, flight is evidence of consciousness of guilt. So it doesn't matter whether you're fleeing the scene of a murder or a DUI. That's all evidence that can be used against you.